And hello and good morning. We are live on Bowls.tv, BOLES.television. I think I have solved my headphone problem, but maybe I haven't. I'm still trying to figure it out. Very interesting. I don't know why it's doing that. If I go to this, I don't believe I'm doubled anymore, but maybe I am, and I'm just not aware of it. I can sort of hear it in my headphones. But we are here live, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. And now I'm just going to do a little audio check to see if I am being doubled here or being doubled elsewhere. A little audio check to see if I'm being doubled here or being doubled elsewhere. Audio check to see if I'm being doubled here or being doubled. I think it's okay. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's okay. So what happened with the headphones thing that's been bothering me? I discussed it yesterday, where I go into the Elgato settings and I say, hey, I'm being doubled. And the Elgato settings do not respond to me. I checked all my Windows settings. The Windows settings says everything's fine. So, I forgot to start my NVIDIA broadcast for some reason, or it's stopped. Maybe it's failed to open. Oh, now this is getting more interesting. Maybe it's all going to explode in my face. But that's there, that's that. We are using noise removal for Elgato Wave. Now just let me check this. The microphone. Properties. NVIDIA broadcast. All right, so I go in there into Elgato, and I'm trying to play around, just have the headphones on for an hour, moving this, sliding that. We have 2 outputs. We have one as a monitor mix, which is what I hear here with everything together. And then we have a stereo stream mix, which is like everything put together and put out. Now, I guess the way that I have it set it up, they're one and the same, but they do sound a little bit different. So then I went into the settings in the Elgato side for my microphone. Looked at it. And there's one thing that you touch that if I slide it this way, downward, which would be this way, the echo disappears. Hey! And before I can say hey, I get an error message from Elgato saying if you do that, your audio is going to be doubled. But my audio is already doubled. So if you enable this, it's going to be doubled, probably quadrupled. So I just said, well, we're playing around with it. We're in the afternoon together. So I enabled it and played around with the volume, and I was able to make the echo that drives me crazy go away, sort of, pretty much, because I have a control on my microphone that's supposed to control the mix that I'm hearing in my headphones. But it doesn't always work. But now it appears to be working. Then you restart. Did everything break? No. Then you wait a day, restart in the morning, get ready for the show. Testing, is it there? Yes. Did it break? Not yet. Does it still sound a little echoey? Maybe. But at least I have this on. I can hear my beautiful background music. Now if we play a video that we own, you can hear the video. If we do an interview, finally, maybe someday, I can hear myself. So that's where we are. It's been an exhausting moment trying to get all of this figured out, but I think I finally have it figured out. And what's interesting about the Elgato stuff is it's very medium expensive. It all works really well together, which encourages you to keep buying Elgato stuff, a mic, a mixer, a light, a HD, fast-paced thing for gaming. But when one thing goes wrong with it, then it all collapses, because it's all like held together, like a deck of cards stacked upon each other. Not even a house of cards, decked cards. So like when you move one deck, the whole thing comes tumbling down. But that also makes it easier that, if you do something wrong, if something's amiss, go to Elgato first. Leave Windows Audio alone. Leave NVIDIA Broadcast alone. Just go in there and see if you can fiddle with it and make it work. And so far, so good. Now, you may have noticed in the prelude to this Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. broadcast stream, Commissioner Gordon is back from the dead, at least momentarily. This whole conversation about headphones probably put him 6 feet under. But he has some news that we're going to discuss a little bit later. I want to make sure I don't lose the links and all of the pathways. But as you can see, we have a new exclamation command, which is, and anybody can use this, exclamation point TAD, click and Z, hey, it's a dad joke. Now, I didn't do that. But we know from direct experience and direct observation that our good friend Gordon loves a dad joke. So yesterday we had a big update from our Moo bot, which is Bull's bot. And MooBot said, hey, we have this new command that we have created that you can add to your MooBot if you want to. And you can just import it and say yes, and it'll work. And it's dad jokes. I said, well, what could be better? Obviously, the MooBot is watching our show and wants to help Gordon in his time of dismay and not feeling well. So I imported it. I got about like 5 things. Are you sure you want to import this? Do you trust this source? I just said yes to everything because it was MooBot. And it's installed and working great and very silly. There were also a couple of other updates for mass purging of people, as well as mass restoring of people after a purge, which I thought was interesting as well. So that's a lot of fun. Go crazy with the dad jokes. And a couple of dad jokes that I've told so far are, did you hear the chameleon who couldn't change color? They had a reptile dysfunction. Another one, why can't your nose be 12 inches long? Because then it'd be a foot. Gordon's joke, I told Malka the universal remote joke. And then had to explain what a universal remote is. Some might say everything Gordon says is a dad joke, which is probably closer to the truth than we would like to admit. But that's what makes him fun. And hey, speaking of fun, did you hear that Trump got raided by the FBI? Oh, the news people are just going crazy. Trump's biographer, I would say, had the gall to say that this is a good thing, that Trump has been waiting for this intrusion from the FBI for years. He's talked with hatred about the FBI and about how he wants them to come and raid him, and he's been calling them evil Nazis for 25 years. So he's relishing in this. He loves it. And my analysis as a know-nothing is, I don't think so. I think Donald Trump is now terrified because he loves perceived threats that are not there, that he can exploit to his advantage by claiming that he is the persecuted one. But when he is actually and in fact being persecuted, legally and financially, that is really, really bad news for Mr. Trump. And some of us couldn't be more delighted in that news. And hey, Gordon asks, and who is the director of the FBI? It's a Trump appointee. Absolutely. It's just so delicious. But if you have any sort of modicum of morality of doing your job well, nothing that Donald Trump would tell you to do, you're going to do, because everything he does, when it comes to a major decision, appears to be illegal and in fact not doable. So it's sort of easy to be against President Trump because he is the definition of being lawless. And some say you shouldn't call it a raid, it's a warrant for a search. And some people say there's probably also a subpoena in there, so you go there and it's a double whammy. But there are people who say, look, this is much more than just a document search. They are looking for something very specific that they absolutely know is there because they had to swear before that in front of a judge. So yesterday afternoon, I received this very interesting email from Coinbase Wallet. And Coinbase is having some trouble. They're in a little bit of regulatory dismay because they claim they are not a security exchange. And the federal government says they are, so now Kevin O'Leary and other mainline investors are dumping coin stock because they say they're out of spec, they're not regulatory, we don't have anything to do with them. But yesterday they were announcing that Coinbase Wallet now supports Polygon. But it always has after their latest update, but I guess now they're just making it official. And it's interesting because before this, anything that you got airdropped to you on the Polygon network was put in your hidden file. No one could see it. You had to go in there and fish it out and put it on your main file. And one thing I guess that people like about Polygon is that you can buy Polygon with a card. Now, not a credit card really, but like a debit card. It's just a step easier. With Ethereum, you have to use your debit card if you want to put money on it through your bank, and then they have to transfer it to you in Ethereum. This way, you don't have to do any transfer. You can just go in there, use your card, pay for it, and you have the NFT. So you don't have to deposit anything into your Polygon account in order to purchase a Polygon NFT. And people like Polygon because it doesn't have any fees really attached to it. So Coinbase Wallet says, hey, claim your free NFT. Okay. Coinbase Wallet now supports Polygon NFTs on the mobile app and browser extension. Hey, try it out for yourself while supplies last. That's the tricky part and the panicking part. Coinbase Wallet to users can claim a special edition NFT minted Polygon. So there it is. That's what it looks like. Designed by Mumbai-based EDAO artist and White Noise co-founder. So you click on this, claim your NFT. And everyone had trouble with this, and I had trouble with this. I tried to do it on my browser. I tried to do it on my phone, and the whole thing was overloaded. Of course, you send out an email like this, free, anything, NFT, free. Especially if you're a collector, you're going to jump on it, because not only is it free, it's sort of historic. That this is the first NFT that is being given away by OpenSea to celebrate the existence of their Polygon support. Okay. So mobile, I don't like doing anything on my mobile phone because I can't see. You have to have, but I realize a lot of new things are happening on mobile, like the Facebook alpha/beta test. The next step in that, as it continues on, is connecting Coinbase Wallet and other wallets for publication of your digital collection through your phone. It doesn't appear the Coinbase wallet is supported in your browser, which is very weird. But I guess that's what all the kids are doing today. They don't want to use a desktop. They just want to use their phone. So I gave up on the phone. I went to the browser, it says connect your wallet. I connected my wallet, and then you wait and wait and wait. And then finally, if you wait long enough, it will take you to a puzzle that you have to prove you are a human being and not a bot trying to steal this free NFT. And it's just taking a puzzle piece from here and dragging it over to where it belongs. Okay. Well, you get error after error saying we're overloaded, try again in 15 minutes. Now, I have learned as an old man on the internet that when you're told to wait 15 minutes, don't wait 15 minutes because everybody else who is there trying to do what you're doing is also told to wait 15 minutes. So in 15 minutes, it's going to be exactly the same problem. Because everyone's going to wait 15 minutes and come back and everyone's not going to be able to get in again. So what you do is you keep forcing a page refresh, which I'm sure they totally didn't appreciate, to force the puzzle to appear. And the puzzle finally appeared after about forcing 10 reloads of the page in about 30 seconds. Move the puzzle. Wait. Probably 3, 4, 5 minutes waiting, which is a long time when you're waiting to mint an NFT. Then finally I got the thing that said, hey, you got one. We're going to put it in your account so you can close this window and see you later. So I closed the window, went and looked at my account, nothing there. And then about 10 minutes later, this appeared in my account, along with my other things. So I click on it, and it's called, oh my God, Kathakali Dancers. That's a name we don't speak in this live stream anymore. Not that name, this name. But that's the name. So there you go. It has 1.9 thousand likes. Polygon, not Ethereum. Here you go. 947,000 owners. 949,000 total. So some people have two. I own one. 127,000 views. And the sale ends in 38 minutes. Now, I don't know if they're selling these, but the price that they're selling them for is $4.78. But hey, I'll take an NFT worth $5. I'm never going to sell it. Now, I think that this is animated, as you can see, and they are Indian dancers. I think it's delightful. I think it's sort of cute and fun. But oh boy. If you're faint of heart, don't go on the internet and don't go into Coinbase on Reddit and read what people have to say about this, because boy, they hate it. They think it's ugly. They think it's not worth the time. Doing the puzzle, why? And they're giving it away for free. And people are having a fit. I think it's very nice and very fun. Now, can I post about this on my Facebook page because it's now Polygon? Well, now I have intrigued myself, which I don't often do, but now I have done. So let me see. I wonder if this is going to be an interesting test to see if not only the Polygon appears, which I believe it should. I believe they fixed that. But will my wallet automatically update? It used to be I had to force a refresh of my wallet in order to share something new. Oh boy, I'm in the wrong account. And they moved where account switching is. It used to be on the left side, now they moved it upper right corner. See my page. Okay, now on my page. There it is. Now, will it appear? Now, the way they organize this is very... Oh, there it is. It updated on its own, which is fabulous, which it's supposed to do. And it's there, along with all this other junk. I mean, this is junk, this stuff. I don't even know what's there. I don't know why it's there. People send you stuff, and you can't block them from sending you stuff. And the new scam on OpenSea is with really famous collectors. People are sending them. I guess you can now gift NFTs to people on OpenSea. So these people who are trying to sell their NFTs for a high price go to these high-profile people, gift them, which I guess is different than airdropping somehow. They gift them their NFT, and then before that person can do anything about it, they somehow take a picture, put something out on social media saying, hey, this famous person has one of my NFTs. You want to be like them, buy mine. And it's working. So here are the Kathakali dancers, the dancers from India. And they're not dancing much, but they are dancing. And I like that it's a little movie. Okay, so here we go, share to feed. Now, we know that sometimes Facebook does not like movies shared as NFTs because they're considered video and they have to process the video. What's on your mind? Sometimes, okay, what do we want to say? Sometimes we dance the night away. Sometimes we sing the day into afternoon. And we find joy of spirit. Sometimes it is that way, sometimes we sing in the day and afternoon. Often we find joy in the movement of spirit. Okay, now, this is the Shazam part. Posting. Okay, we'll let you know. We'll let you know your post is ready. Your post is being processed. We'll let you know when it's ready to view. And it's being processed because it's a video. Digital collectible posted. We'll see about that. So now we have to go back and Z. And now we have to force a refresh, which is shift, click. Now is it there? That's the question. This is our page. Slowly. And there it is. It worked. I guess they fixed the Chrome browser problem. They, of course, never confirmed it or told me about it. I just figured it out on my own. And there you go. That's how you have fun with free NFTs from OpenSea and shared on the Facebook. I should really go on there and say something about my Twitter. But it's not going to be a movement, really. Yeah, I can't figure out a way. There has to be a way to download the movie from OpenSea, but I have not figured it out yet. But now I've convinced myself that I'm going to put something on Twitter. Hey, it's fun. This is a live show, you know. Tweet and Z, what's happening? Loving the new... Oh, there we go. NFT art. Loving the new dancing queens gifted to me by Coinbase Wallet yesterday. Dancing, touching, singing, all on Polygon. Now, I did save this as just a regular image. I can't figure out how to share it as a movie yet. You would think Twitter could allow you to do that because our wallets are connected to our Twitter Blue accounts. Now, where is the image? Oh, there it is. I know I saved it. Oh, please no. There we go. Okay, loving the nominated by me. Frequency. Done. Done did. Think. Did it post? Yes. Sending the tweet. This is an advantage of Twitter Blue, that if I had made an error in judgment or a misspelling, I could undo it and take back the tweet. But I didn't, and so there it is. Now published and posted and shared with everyone in the world. And now we're going to take a very brief blood pressure break, returning in a moment. And we are back from break. I'm David Bowles. This is Bowles TV. BOLES.television. BOLES.TV. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. Hey. At the start of the show, Gordon mentioned something about a person he knows. Retiring, dying, I can't remember. And he's going to share with us his memory, his links, and anything else he has up his sleeve that might be other than a Kleenex because he's not feeling well. Whoops. What did I just do? That is our Discord screen. I was trying to type another dad joke in honor of Gordon, but I missed it. It's interesting that if I type a D, it goes to the Discord app. Is that what it's doing? Exclamation point D? It is the article from my friend Gordon. The Archers actor. Interesting, in the UK they call female actors actors instead of actresses. But there are female actresses in the USA who want to be called an actor. The Archers actor June Spencer, 103 years old, retires after more than 70 years. BBC radio soap opera aired in 1951. She played the role of the redoubtable matriarch of Peggy Woolley in The Archers for more than 70 years. Well, if she's 103, why can't she just keep going? I know that sounds cruel, but if you're 103, why not just go until you're 104? How did she pick 103 to retire? But at the age of 103, June Spencer is finally retiring from the BBC Radio 4 soap. She was in the very first show in 1951. Final performance was 31 July. Spencer said, in 1950, I helped plant an acorn. It took root, and in January 1951, it was planted out and called The Archers. I've never heard The Archers. I've never heard of June, which makes me less informed and not as fully educated as Commissioner Gordon. She is now a great-grandmother. She had many important storylines, including husband succumbing to Alzheimer's. Her own husband, Roger, also had the condition until his death. The storyline began a year after he died. Well, that's just fantastic. 103 years old and still going. Gordon says, I started listening to The Archers in 2009. When I did a Google search for radio soap operas, it was the first one that came up. I think that's great. I think radio dramas are really terrific and fantastic. When I was a young student back at the University of Nebraska, I worked for KFOR Radio. And I wanted to bring back like a Sunday night show that would be originally produced as a radio drama. I had it all ready to go, didn't want any money, just, wanted, 30 minutes of airtime. At 11:30 at night, whatever it was, do it live, fun. And they were not interested. Another link from the commissioner. The Archers. Channel 4. Contemporary drama in a rural setting, in case you want to listen. Wonderful. There she is, retiring from the Ushers. 103. Unbelievable. I wonder if she went into the studio. Or if she just, worked from home. I sort of hope she worked from home, because that's a lot of work for being 103. It's hard to decide when to retire and when to keep going. Oh, Tales from the Early Days of the Ushers with June Spencer. So this looks like a lovely page. Go and explore, listen to things. I'd do it now, but then I would be blooped and bleeped and cut for copyright infringements. Now, how these streamers, watch live TV on their streams, I don't know. Maybe they can watch it live and they don't get in trouble. They don't worry about VOD, video on demand. I don't know. So we thank the commissioner for that. Always love to celebrate the artist. And speaking of artists, on this live stream, we have talked about high fashion art before. And this just appeared in my feed yesterday in the New York Times. High fashion. And a good question is, what does high fashion say about us as a people? What does high fashion say of us as a metric of insanity? Now, high fashion is never meant to be really worn, shared. It's about creativity and expression. It's not even couture. Couture is high-end, meant to be worn. So let's look at these ideas that reflect our modern world. Oh boy. That looks like a dad joke. What would the dad joke be for that? Why are basketball players messy eaters? Because they are always dribbling. Well, it's perfect, of course. Is this the basketball or is this the dribbler? I don't know. And it's hard because you look at this and you say, well, that's just silly. That can't be a serious person, a high fashion person in the New York Times. But I guess it is. And they're saying we're in surreal times. Strange proportions, odd materials, clothing shaped like a car. This season, nothing is as it seems. Okay, a person covered with hangers. Now, is that creative? Or is it just sort of messy and pretending to be creative? For me, I don't find this to be particularly effective. A Givenchy dress, $3,320 scoop, boots price on request. This is a car. I guess a satin car. Low dress, showpiece only. Oh, they're not selling it. The shoes, however, are $1,500. Balenciaga shoes. $1,500. And I understand why some people look at this and they say, well, this can't be serious. This is not real fashion. This is people crying out for attention. And I have to agree. I don't really even know what this is. Balenciaga tape. Okay, the yellow tape, $450. Effective, not effective? Again, I vote not effective. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It seems like a cry for attention. A table is taped to your back with bananas and orange, carrying a suitcase and a dog bowl on your head. Again, construct, Fendi top, shoes and pants. Okay, I don't think this is a person, right? I guess this is half of a mannequin. I don't find this particularly effective. A Chloe dress, $2,500. So I guess you would wear this normally, but in this case, it's a person sitting on a chair. I guess these are their knees, stretching out a $2,500 dress with their arms above their head. Yeah, I'm not getting it. Max Mara pants, $1,000. So I guess they're showing off the clothing in a creative way. Hips bending over, there's the head, there are the arms. This is a skirt, $2,000, and tights for $60. I don't know if it's two skirts or one, but I don't think they're wearing it correctly. I don't think the skirt goes over their head, but I guess they're just being daring. Not really interesting, just daring. Dolce & Gabbana jacket, left, $3,500. Skirt worn as a hat, $1,600. Okay, that's a skirt worn as a hat. And this is a jacket. High fashion. Patent leather muscles. Not really getting it, but it's curious to watch. On the covers, okay. A Prada coat, $6,400. I guess they're wearing the coat upside down. Gordon has been saying, hate to break it up to them, but Malika did that a couple of years ago, the coat hangers, and nobody paid her a wooden nickel for it. Gordon also says, reasons people make fun of fashion industry, Jeopardy category. I agree, and I consider myself someone who is fluidly active in the creative arts. This, I find mocking and not a serious attempt at fashion. This to me is attention getting. This is not standard setting. Wearing clothes as they were not intended to be worn. A Gucci dress, $5,700, shoes, $1,000. Okay, well this at least you can see what's going on. It's a lovely dress. The rest of it with the dog bowls, I don't understand. Another fight for attention. Balenciaga shoes, $1,500. Stylist own body and tights. Okay. Yeah. You almost feel like a fool for watching this and taking it seriously. It's like we've become now a part of the incoherence. Tom Brown shirt dress. Okay, so you put a shirt dress on a table. And shoes, and I guess you call that creative. Well, you just can't be wacky to be wacky. There has to be some kind of context, some sort of rule for understanding, or you're just being, weird without consequence. Giorgio Armani sweater, $1,700. Pants, $2,800. Shoes, $1,200. I guess you just can't, put something on and wear it anymore. You have to put it on the wrong way and backward and then say, well, look, these are not just clothes. This is the highest standard of fashion. A little disappointed, I have to admit. I thought it was going to be a little bit more fun than that. I skimmed over it, but I didn't read it till I got with you because that's the fun part of it. Wow. I feel like we just propagated something that needed to be buried in a very deep and dark corner. And now we're going to take a very brief break, come back, talk about health issues and fun ways to stay in great shape. Returning in a moment. And we are back from break. I'm David Bowles. This is Bowles.tv, BOLES.television, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. I was just replying to our friend Igba, who replied to our free NFT from Coinbase Wallet, saying that it's amazing, and it is sort of amazing looking. I wish there were a little more dancing, a little more singing, a little more seltzer down your pants. So here we go. Get ready. Fabulous vegan news. People on a plant-based diet who do strength training, kettlebells, as opposed to other forms of exercise, such as biking or swimming, do have stronger bones than other people on a vegan diet. According to new research published in the Endocrine Society's Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism. Hey, about 6% of people in these United States are vegan. What? The 6%ers, baby. Recent research shows that a plant-based diet can be associated with lower bone mineral density and increased fracture risk. Veganism is a global trend with strongly increasing numbers of people worldwide adhering to a purely plant-based diet. Study showed resistance training often offsets diminished bone structure in vegan folk when compared to omnivores, those who choose, in fact, to eat the meat. Researchers found vegan participants who did resistance training exercises such as using machines, free weight, kettlebells, or bodyweight resistance exercises at least once a week had stronger bones than those who did not. They also found vegans and omnivores who engaged in resistance training had similar bone structure. I'm loving it! Is that a McDonald's slogan? I'm loving it. I hope not. People who adhere to a vegan lifestyle should perform resistance training on a regular basis to preserve bone strength. I love it. I'm doing it. I'm here. Hey, another interesting news about the body. Research links red meat intake, gut microbiome, and cardiovascular disease in older adults. Well. Does eating more meat, especially red meat and processed meat, raise the risk of cardiovascular disease? And if so, why? Well, despite intense study, the impact of animal-sourced foods on atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease is still vigorously debated. And the mechanisms underlying potential effects of animal proteins remain unclear. Understanding the impacts of meat consumption is particularly important in older adults because they are the most vulnerable to heart disease. It may benefit from intake of protein to offset age-related loss of muscle mass and strength. It's all true. A new study identifies the risk associated with meat intake and identifies underlying biologic pathways that explain the risk. The study of almost 4,000 U.S. men and women over the age of 60 and 5 shows that higher meat consumption is linked to a higher risk of cardiovascular disease. 22% higher for about every 1.1 serving of meat per day. and that about 10% of this elevated risk is explained by increased levels of 3 metabolites produced by gut bacteria from nutrients abundant in the meat. Higher risk, I'm drooling on myself, higher risk in interlinkages with gut bacteria metabolites were found for red meat, but not poultry, eggs, or fish. And you heard on the news today, consumers, because of economic reasons, are not buying red meat. And if they are, they're buying cheap meat. They're not buying expensive steaks. They are preferring chickens, which some people think is a little bit better than red meat. Here are the highlights of the study. Community-based cohort, older U.S. men, women, respectively associated with a higher incidence of cardiovascular disease during a median follow-up of 12.5 years. So this is a long-term cohort study. The positive associations with ASCVD were partly mediated, 8 to 11%, by plasma levels of TMAO. The higher risk of cardiovascular disease associated with meat intake was also partially mediated by levels of blood glucose and insulin, and for processed meats, by systemic inflation, but not by blood pressure or blood cholesterol levels. As we said, fish, poultry, eggs were not significantly associated. All of this suggests that when choosing animal source foods, it's less important to focus on differences in total fat, saturated fat, or cholesterol, and more important, to better understand the health effects of other components in these foods, like L-carnitine and heme iron. So I guess you've been warned. Stay away from the red meat. It's not going to be as good for you as the others now. Hey, have you heard strawberries may just fend off Alzheimer's? I like the idea. Rush researchers found that a bioactive compound found in strawberries called pelargonidin may be associated with less neurofibrillary tau tangles in the brain. Tau tangles are one of the hallmarks of Alzheimer's disease, which is caused by abnormal changes with tau particles that accumulate in the brain. The study was published on July 19. Says that article could be posted on Facebook and half the reactions would be laughter. Yes, of course. Probably exactly 36% would be laughter. I'm still surprised that there are places on Facebook where people are still dying of COVID. How could it be? He was on the ICU for 3 weeks. He was on a ventilator for 6 days. He never recovered. He was in a coma. Who knew you need to have a vaccine? Who knew? Nobody told him. And this is all being documented in the Herman Cain Award subreddit on Reddit, where the guy who died for a year and a half was pro-Trump, anti-vaccine. It's all fake, all a big scam. And the family's left devastated, left 6 children behind. Here's a GoFundMe to raise money for his stupidity. And then there are long-term COVID people. Some woman is on Facebook saying, oh, I have long-term COVID. I have diarrhea every day. I have stomach distress. I can't breathe. Who knew? Who knew you had to have a vaccine? Nobody told me. The ivermectin didn't work. Who knew there was a vaccine? And meanwhile, Herman Cain Award goes back and verifies the last 13 months she has been staunchly anti-vaccine. Cytokines are proteins produced by cells and can regulate various inflammatory responders. Inflammation in the brain has been linked to Alzheimer's pathology, such as plaques and tangles. The data suggests that prolegonitin may protect the aging brain from developing Alzheimer's disease pathology. Hey, among all the berries, strawberries are the most abundant source of prolegonitin. I didn't know. I now know. The day I read this, I said to the Jana Marie, "Bring home strawberries." And she did. And they were super delish. And we ate them 4 days in a row. We're waiting to get more. I'm trying to think, are strawberries ever out of season? Is there a strawberry season in the grocery store? I'm trying to think. I know with bananas, you always can get a banana. Blueberries, maybe. Strawberries, I thought were like perennial, but maybe not. This study about strawberries was an observational study and does not provide direct causal relationship. Further research is needed to understand the role of nutrition in Alzheimer's disease. But the study gives us hope on how specific dietary components, such as berry, may help brain health. Oh my goodness, Gordon says they're very good for you. Now, I have to figure out how to add that to my dad joke thing, if I'm allowed. Because that's exactly what we're trying to do here. I have no dad jokes, so I have to rely on Moobot to help. Without geometry, life is pointless. Terrible. Hey, have you heard about a healthy diet? And how it can help you? Especially, and this is so specific, especially after head, neck, and cancer diagnosis. So this is if you want to be better after head, neck, cancer, head and neck cancer, a healthy diet can help you get better. It's very, very interesting. Patients with squamous cell carcinoma of the head or neck were 93% less likely to die of any cause during the first 3 years after diagnosis if, only if, they ate a healthy diet high in nutrients found to deter chronic disease. I wonder if one of them is strawberries. And people don't think that eating good is right. Now, one of our former supers in our former building, and we lived there for many years, he was slightly off. I don't want to say insane, but close. Former alcoholic, self-admitted, terrible smoker in the building all day, all night. Doesn't look good, very strong. Took his Social Security retirement when he hit the age of 62, he was in. Because I guess he didn't think he was going to live very long. And he wanted to get all of his money out. He told me he knew how to cure cancer. And I don't share this because he's wacky. I share this because it's sort of slightly interesting about the head and neck cancer thing we just read. He said, he said about colon cancer, and this is, I'm going to say the ravings of a madman, which is not me right now, that you eat green vegetables, only green colored vegetables, and you eat it and you eat it and you eat it until your poopy, he didn't use the word poopy, until your poopy comes out completely green. It felt like he had tested this somehow. Comes out completely green, and when it's completely green, you know that you have been cured of this cancer. And he swore. He did make things up quite often, but he did swear in the parking lot of our building that he had cured people from cancer by having them eat green vegetables. Not himself, just people he knew. He also said never, he was a veteran, never, ever go into a veteran's hospital if you are ill. He said, because you'll never come out. Whatever that means, I'm just sharing. So I guess in theory, our super's theory that eating super healthy can help you cure cancer may have had some kind of basis in some reality somewhere. We looked at 6 different diet quality indices and compared patient outcomes. The goal was to evaluate adherence to different patterns of eating and explore how diet was related to cancer-specific and all-cause mortality. Researchers compared patients' eating habits with the dietary approaches to stop hypertension, the DASH diet, the alternate Mediterranean diet, and 3 types of low-carbohydrate diets, including general low-carbohydrate diets as well as plant-based or consumption of animal plant proteins. Higher scores reflected healthier eating habits such as consuming 5 or more servings a day of fruits and vegetables, and avoidance of trans fats and sugary beverages. The DASH diet is a low-sodium, low-saturated fat plan found to lower blood pressure, cholesterol levels, and risks of heart attack and stroke. For the low carbohydrate plan, the researchers used an index that scored patients' diets from 0 to 30, with higher scores reflecting lower consumption of carbs and greater amounts of fat and protein. For the animal and plant-based versions, the percentages of fat and protein obtained from animal or vegetable sources were used in the scoring. Now, I love Dr. McDougall. Read all of his books when he first became vegan. His wife, Mary, is wonderful. She is the owner and inventor of Mary's Crackers, which are super delicious. Dr. McDougall publishes books and food, Right Foods. And I read that he is being attacked viciously on Wikipedia, which is why I have great reservations about Wikipedia. Because if you're on the editorial team and you've done your work, you can go in there and change whatever you want to change. And they say Dr. McDougall is being viciously attacked because he is anti-keto, which is absolutely righto. And because of that, the pro-keto people are attacking him and saying terrible things about Dr. McDougall. And no one can go in there and fix it because these editors, in their cabal of editorial non-wisdom, have banded together to change anything that's changed about Dr. McDougall. I don't think he cares, but some of us do. Gordon says, whoa-ho, I love her crackers. So do I. And she has all kinds of crackers. She has original crackers, and she has like 4 or 5 other kinds of crackers. If you go to the Mary Crackers website and sign up, every week she sends you some kind of deal, a super-duper deal where you can buy a lot of crackers at a very cheap price. And the fact that she's married to Dr. McDougall makes it all better, because he's terrific. He's very smart. Given the severe symptoms and side effects that head and neck cancer patients experience that impact eating and nutrition, our work is essential to developing future dietary intervention studies as well as medical nutrition therapy guidelines for this particular group. So they said, you eat healthy, you're going to feel better, you're going to survive your cancer. Now, how many people will listen to that? As Gordon says, 50% will laugh on Facebook. True. And 36% will say it's all fraud, fake. Eat more meat. If you want to live longer. Which is really just the opposite of what's happening. And we have a couple more health stories. But right now, got to take a quick blood pressure break. Returning in a moment. Hey, we're back from break. I'm David Bowles. This is Bowles.tv. BOLES.television.tv. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. Replying to my friend Igba on Twitter saying, yeah, he's responding to my Polygon thing, my free NFT. He said, yeah, I hear we're not supposed to use Polygon. And I said, yeah, I don't like Polygon. Every airdropped NFT sent to me on OpenSea that was minted on Polygon was hidden. Now, maybe that's changing. I don't know. But I said the reason that people use Polygon is because there's no gas fee. It's all free. So I said you get what you pay for. As far as I know, Igba he publishes on Ethereum. So I think that's still the smartest way to go because Ethereum gas prices are dropping drastically in the next month or two. We're talking about strawberries. The other berry that is deliciously and incalculably beneficial is a blueberry. So that day that I put out the clarion call for strawberries from Jenna Marie, she also brought us a tub of blueberries, which we also consumed ravenously. Blueberries are antioxidants, natural. You just eat them by the handful and you're immediately better. At least that's what doctors say. And hey, speaking of doctors, we were talking about our old friend John McDougall of Dr. McDougall Right Foods. And here he is, Dr. McDougall, with the beautiful Mary. And here's his website, drmcdougall.com. Regain your health in fewer than 2 weeks with the McDougall program. Join the mailing list, hey. And it's all delicious, it's all vegan. He doesn't necessarily brag about that part, but it's all a plant-based diet. And there's Dr. McDougall, and there's Mary, together again. And here's their philosophy. Optimal health is achieved by eating low-fat, high-fiber, minimally processed, starch-based diet with fruits and vegetables. This is not all or nothing, which is his philosophy. It doesn't have to be perfect. We teach the principles of healthy living. The more you do, the better your results, which is absolutely the right way to do it. Look, some people just can't stop not having a little fish or a little meat or a little hamburger. Well, Dr. McDougall says that's fine. Just work on your percentages and have more of this than not as much that. And all of this looks so delicious. But here's my favorite part. Anti-aging, meow, meow, meow. Meet the team. Dr. McDougall. There he is. There's Mary, retired nurse. Mary's Crackers. Heather McDougall. I wonder who she is. I wonder where she came from. They have whole medical staff. It's a big corporation. You wouldn't think that Dr. McDougall's that big, but he's big. His Right Foods is big. Makes it very easy to have delicious McDougall soups in a cup that you take to work. Add boiling water, and you are super duper healthy. He will get you there. There is no doubt about that. If you follow his program. And he has, as you can see, a giant team. Content manager, photographer, website developer, chef. It's a big team. Dr. McDougall ain't nothing, as they say. Dr. McDougall's everything's. Hey, have you heard about green tea? Now, green tea extract promotes gut health and lowers blood sugar. Now, it's interesting because green tea extract, I guess, doesn't necessarily mean green tea. You do a lookup on Amazon, green tea extract, it's, people rub it on their elbows and on their faces, and I'm thinking, do you ingest it, or is it for external use only? I'm a little confused about it. New research in people with a cluster of heart disease risk factors has shown that consuming green tea extract for 4 weeks can reduce blood sugar levels and improve gut health by lowering inflammation and decreasing leaky gut syndrome. So I guess you do take it. I couldn't really find if it was a pill or if it's like drops. I was a little confused about the whole thing. It seems like there is green tea extract for people who are good, and then there are 90% scammers. There is much evidence that the greater consumption of green tea is associated with good levels of cholesterol, glucose, and triglycerides. But no studies have linked its benefit to the gut. So that's what this study does. And I love that because your gut needs a lot of probiotics and a lot of help. And people don't realize it. In the new study, green tea extract also lowered blood sugar, which is very good, and decreased gut inflammation. All an unexpected finding. What this tells us is that within 1 month, we're able to lower blood glucose in people with metabolic syndrome and healthy people, and the lowering of blood glucose appears to be related to decreasing leaky gut and decreasing gut inflammation. I mean, how can you beat that? Just by having a little bit of green tea. People with metabolic syndrome are diagnosed with at least 3 of 5 factors that increase the risk for heart disease, diabetes, and other health problems. Excess belly fat, high blood pressure, low HDL, and high levels of fasting blood glucose and triglycerides, a type of fat in your blood. The tricky thing about these risk factors is that constitutive metabolic syndrome is that they are often only slightly altered and do not yet require drug management, but still impose a great risk to health. Commissioner Gordon says, "You've reminded me of something I saw earlier today. I have a terrible habit of when I see someone commenting something nasty, I look at their profile and what they've posted." I believe this is on Reddit. Someone whose profile I looked at had this as a post. Satire may be hard to say. "I just don't understand," quoting now, "how the same eye drops that I put in my eye are good for me but poisonous if I swallow them. Is this person really that dumb?" Yes, they are that dumb. Oh, Gordon says Facebook. I didn't know you could check on previous posts from a person. I guess that must be in a group. I'm not a big Facebook user, I admit. I have my business page and that's it. But that is dumb. But if you look at the history of America, there have been so many people who have made so many comments about how many dumb people are in America. And they're willfully stupid and wantingly uneducated, and they're very proud of it. And what's the famous quote? That your science and technology are just as important as my lack of knowledge. Gordon says, "Hey, go to Facebook. Go to any post shared by, say, the Wall Street Journal. Look at the comments, find the first moronic comment, and click on their profile." I didn't know you could do that. I thought you had to be friends with them or something before you could see what they had said. I will have to check into that. 40 participants, 21 with metabolic syndrome and 19 healthy adults, consumed, here we go, gummy confections containing green tea extract rich in anti-inflammatory compounds called catechins for 28 days. The daily dose equaled 5 cups of green tea. Well, I prefer to do it that way. In the randomized double-blind crossover trial, all participants spent another 28 days taking a placebo with a month off any supplement between treatments. But I am going to write down gummy bears and catechins. Researchers confirmed that participants, as advised, follow a low diet in polyphenols, naturally occurring antioxidants in fruits, vegetables, teas, spices during the placebo and green tea extract confection phases. Results showed that fasting blood glucose levels for all participants were significantly lower after taking green tea extract compared to levels after taking the placebo. Drink your green tea. It's super duper healthy for you. And I'm going to have a cup when I'm done. Now I know I gotta have 5 cups of that a day, which is absolutely doable. I think I'm there already, but now I'm gonna put out 5 tea bags every morning, and then when I'm done, I know I'm done. Now see, my mind says, well, what if I have 10? If I have 10, then I'm gonna be double, triple. What if I have 15 cups every day? That's how this insane mind works. But I'll try to keep it to 5. Hey, have you heard that depression is linked to consuming an inflammatory diet, increasing the risk of frailty? A new study published by the Journal of Gerontology says that frailty, defined as a recognizable state of increased vulnerability resulting from a decline in functions across multiple physiological systems, affects about 15% of older adults. Previous studies established a link between an inflammatory diet, including artificial trans fats, refined carbs, and saturated fats, and the risk of development frailty. Researchers hypothesize that since individuals with depressive symptoms typically have higher levels of inflammation, adding dietary inflammation on top of that accelerates frailty. Makes sense, right? So you have to find a way to get around the inflammation. The study suggests consuming a diet rich in anti-inflammatory compounds like fiber and plant-based compounds called flavonoids. I believe you have a lot of those in blueberries. Our exploratory data also suggests that when middle-aged and older adults consume a pro-inflammatory diet, they are more likely to develop depressive symptoms and frailty at the same time. Those with depression, it may be even more important to increase their intake of fruits and vegetables that are rich in fiber, flavonoids, as well as other dietary antioxidants. So there you go. Cool yourself down, dust yourself off, start that diet all over again. Because as you get older and you start aging, terrible things start to happen to you. Things you can't control, like your blood. We have a friend of the show who is having a hard time getting her blood tested, her kidneys examined, and her blood sugar's a little high. And her doctor's saying, you're older now, you're retirement age. What are you going to do? And she's been trying to eat healthy, 5,000 steps a day. It's not working. So she doesn't want to go on medication. She doesn't want to be on insulin, but she's got to try to, get her weight down and eat better, because her doctor said this is really probably 100% related to what you're eating. So if you change your eating habits, and I think she sort of eats pretty healthy already, but I guess she needs to do more to get that A1C down. So she's trying to do that. But it's hard. Then the older you get, the more your body fights you. The more your body just wants to sit around, do nothing, get fatter, and you dissolve into your old age. Until you get to a point like in your 70s where your body starts eating itself. And everything turns around, and where you used to be fat and ugly, now all of a sudden you're super skinny and you can't gain any weight because that corner has been turned. So try to keep your weights, your kettlebells on you, moving. Eat strawberries, drink green tea, blueberries, Mary's crackers, Dr. McDougall. Maybe you'll live forever. So this has been our wonderful show today. If you have any questions or concerns, you can email me, David@Bowles.tv. On the Facebook, click on my name and you'll see all the things I've said. BOLES. On Instagram, Bowles Books. On Ticketsy Talkacy, Bowles TV. And if you're looking for something fun to do on Discord, hey, come on over, say hi, join our Discord server. Alexander's there, Igba's there. We talk about veganism, we talk about art, NFTs, health, all kinds of new stuff going on over there. Gordon says, via the Bowles bot, what do you call a boomerang that won't come back? A stick. Now, I want you to tell that one to Malka and see if she laughs. Because a lot of these are very complicated. They're very English, very hearing, as Janet would say. But that one is tough. Doesn't come back as a stick. That's a leap of thought that I'm not sure I could make by myself. And the Commissioner Gordon, feeling better, from Winter Garden, Florida, says, thanks for having us. And our always reply is, not a dad joke. No. See you in a day or two, and I'll have more ideas for you. So I hope you have a great nap, good sleep, you wake up refreshed and feeling right, and may your soul be filled with joy and green tea strawberry jam. I'll see you tomorrow.